Welcome back, students. We are on the chapter Force and Pressure. I have this needle here and I need to put this needle in this cloth here. What do you think? Which side of this needle will pierce the cloth easily? Is it this one or this one? Have you written your answers? Write in your copy. Also, I have this knife here and I have this apple, or do you want to call it tomato? You can. Sure. I have this apple here. When I was drawing, I was trying for apple, so I'm going to call it apple. So, which side of this knife will you use to cut this apple? This one or this one? And which will cut this apple easily without bruising it? Right? So write answer to this question also in your copy. If you and your sibling were fighting, no fighting. If you were at a beach and you hit the sand or sand castle with hand like this, and your sibling hit it with hand like this, which hitting will make a deeper mark? Have you written answers to all these questions? Let's see what were your answers. So here, this more pointed side will be easier to pierce the cloth with. Right? If you try to pierce the cloth with this side, this blunter side, what will happen? You will require a lot of force and the hole that you are making in the cloth will look very bad. It will be bigger. It will not be neat and clean the way your normal sewing looks like. It doesn't even show the hole where the needle had made if you are sewing with this side. But if you try to do that with this side, what will happen? A very ill-shaped hole will be made in the cloth and it will be visible and it will be visibly ugly. Okay, in this question, this side, this sharper side will be easier to cut this apple with. And if you try to cut apple with this other side, blunt side, what will happen? It will get bruised. The apple will be bruised and it will not be cut that nicely. It will be something like this. It will be not in a good shape. And now you must have guessed answer to this question too. This type of hitting will make a deeper mark and this will just make a shallow mark. So what is science behind this? Why did this happen? And reason behind all these scenarios is this here and this here. First is force applied and second is area on which force was concentrated. Now in first case, this was piece of cloth and with pointed side of the needle, you were applying force really in only this much of area, right? And if you were to use the same force that you applied in this case, when you try to put the hole with other side of the needle, you are applying the same force on this much of area. So what happens in these two cases, that I am applying same force in both of these cases, but this smaller hole is made easily and this larger hole takes time and it's not that neat a hole, right? So in second case, even in second case for apple, when I'm cutting it with sharp side of the knife, I'm really putting my force in this much part of the apple. And when I'm cutting it with blunt side of the knife, blunt side has more area on it. So the force that is coming through it and on the apple, it's coming in this much area of the apple. So it doesn't get cut properly, nicely. It just gets smashed and it doesn't look very good. So in all these cases, even if I apply same amount of force here, here, here and here, the lesser the area, better is the force transferred, right? What do I mean by force is transferred? That means that the area of contact is lesser in these two cases, this smaller hole and this sharper knife. So in these two cases, area of these objects where force was being applied was smaller. So a larger impact was found. So what is this? This is pressure. So pressure depends on two things. First is force and second is area. If I increase the force, pressure will increase. And if I increase the area, what was happening? Pressure was decreasing. Right, if I put the sharp side of the needle with large pressure in the cloth, hole will be even finer, right? Or if I don't try it, but if I cut an apple with more force, then what will happen? The whole apple will be cut into two halves. So more the force, more is pressure. And if I increase the area, we just saw the result, pressure was decreasing. Can you think of more examples where we see the results of increasing or decreasing pressure? Now, girls will know this one better. Is it comfortable to wear these kind of shoes? I mean, heels, sandals? No. Why? Because almost all the weight of the body comes on this part of your feet. And after just a while, this part of your feet will start aching like anything. So whenever girls wear this kind of sandals, they try to seek a place to sit down and remove their sandals for a while, right? So what if I wear this kind of sandal, let's say on a place something like beach. Okay, now this is my idea of what a beach looks like. Okay, so if I wear something like this on a beach, what will happen? Will I be able to walk properly? Okay, I added a sun there. I won't be able to walk properly with heels on a sandy road. Why? Because these heels will pierce into sand and I'll be stuck at a place. I won't be able to walk properly. My feet will keep on going inside the sand. Okay, because this area here is very small. So what will happen? Sand is, well, sandy. So my feet will go right into the sand and they'll pierce very deep. Okay, now if I wear something with broader sole, what will be happening here? The weight of my body will be distributed over larger area, and now the sand, what will happen on the sand? My weight will be distributed over larger part. So not single pressure will not be more on a single part, and my feet will not pierce deeper but shallower in the sand, and then I'll be able to walk properly. That's why we wear broader soled sandals on beach, and we do not ever wear heels on beach. But can you think of a place where heels or sinking into deeper and then getting a grip will be helpful? Can you think of such a place? If you do, write in your notebooks and try to verify with books. Okay, now this is my idea of how snow looks like. Snowed road. This is a road where there is a lot of snow distributed. So if I want to walk on these roads, if I use flat or broader soled sandals or shoes, what will happen here? Feet will slip, right? So here, something like this, heeled shoes would be better to use. Why? Because they'll pierce into the snow and keep the grip. In all of the cases, what we observed was effects of pressure. Now we can define pressure as force per unit area. We know the formula of pressure, P equal to F by A, that is force per unit area, and its SI unit is called as pascals. Pascal, which is Newton per meter square. Okay, so if in a numerical you are given two of these variables, you can easily find the third. You might be given pressure, maybe in Newton per meter square, or you are given pressure in Pascal, and maybe you are given area in meter square, and you have to find the force that created this pressure. You can easily do that by using this formula, right? Also, you might be given, maybe instead of meter square, you are given pressure in terms of Newton per centimeter square. You are given pressure in Newton per meter square but area in centimeter square. Then what you do to find out force, you convert this area into meter square. Make sure that all of your units are in equal terms, represented in equal unit, measurement unit. Or maybe you are given forces in newtons or dynes, and you are supposed to find out pressure in particular meter square or centimeter square area. You can easily do that by using this formula. We'll take the numericals in next video. Okay, and also we'll take atmospheric pressure in next video. What you do this time is read the chapter till these concepts and try to think of more effects of pressure that you have seen. Do liquid and gases exert pressure? There are large oceans. So if we go under the ocean, does the ocean exert some kind of pressure on us? Is air exerting any pressure on us? Try to think on these things, and we'll discuss atmospheric pressure in next video. See you.